Let's try that again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Aussie Formula Racing here for Tier 1, Season 8, Round 13, the final round of the season. And we're here at Spa and
We got some rain.
doing well to the name. It is raining. And here we go. We've just loaded into the session, so I'll bring that up. And why is that not full screen? Oh, I can't be bothered fixing it right now. Anyway, I'm Gus Rules, and joining me tonight is Mr. Spicer. How you going, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself, Gus?
Pretty good. Very sweaty after that Tier 3 race.
I can only imagine.
Yes, it was pretty good fun. Final round of season. So after this stream, I'll be uninstalling the game, and we'll be having a few weeks off while the new game comes out. So that will be good. And I don't think there's actually any game audio, is there? I'm not even hearing that through my headset.
Negative.
There we go. Okay. All right. It's just that menu thing. All right. Here we go. So we've got the Aston Martin out on track. That is SimDogger. All right. Dry race apparently, and quali is a mixed bag, so that should liven things up a little bit. Now we've got I did see something in the Tier 1 chat that everyone was going to jump on the intermediate tyres, and sure enough, they are all on the intermediates. But I think that's not by choice. So this will be interesting to see how it.
This will be good for their race too, I think too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It means they're going to have a lot more tyre selection.
Yeah, same, especially those who get through to Q3. So to give them enough tyres to really push hard in qualifying, and then they'll have, plenty for the race as well. Thank you, Psycho. Psycho, what are the estimated cutoff times, please? Pit reporter down there at AlphaTauri. Hopefully give us a little bit of an insight into these Tier 1 times.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who's a good wet weather driver. So it's just knowing just where the edges are, staying off the ripple strips because they're definitely slippery. And we'll see what happens.
Well, some of these curbs are deadly at the best of times at Spa, so I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the wet. I think Puon, they're going to be absolutely tiptoeing around there. And a lot of slow, low traction zones as well, like the bus stop chicane and turn 1. And
yeah, just that track looks really wet. It's almost like wet tyres. You need wet weather tyres.
Yeah, it's pretty much on the cusp, so be interesting to see how it plays out.
Looks like it's bucketing down. I'm on board Trin.
There we go. On board with SimDogger, who will take us around for the first flying lap of the session. And he's keeping it in 4th gear out of the bus stop, trying to control that wheel spin. He's locked up both the front tyres coming into turn 1. I think he's probably going to be just finding his way around the track.
I think they all will be. It's whoever can make it around and make it to the next session, but looks
yeah, exactly. Just get A time on the board. You see, he had to massively lift out of the throttle between Eau Rouge and Radion.
So would you say there's only one person that will be missing out on the next Q2? There's only 16.
That's right, unless we have anyone join mid-session. We weren't meant to have a few more people join, and I think everyone who signed up is here, so I don't think there's any latecomers. But yeah, so basically there's only one driver who's going to miss out on Q2 here, so you do not want to be the one playing solitaire for the next half an hour, or looking at TikTok, so everyone will be doing their best to set a good time, but at the moment I think everyone's just going to be trying to get A time on the board and then build from there, just get a little bit of confidence in the track, learn where the limits are, and then start push to the end. But of course, even if you set a quick time, if you do crash out on track, you cannot progress to the next session. So they're going to have to be very, very careful as, big snapper oversteer from SimDog, and he nearly lost the rear, but he gathered it up in Sector 2.
Definitely not an easy track to have a car set up ready, because you got to have these massive long straights, but then you also got fast winding turns. You need the downforce for that to get around them pretty quick, so it's sort of like a catch-22, this track.
Absolutely. Oh, he's nearly invalidated. Coming up, I think that's through Blanchimont and into the bus stop chicane. And he comes across the line, and so it's 155.331, the first time that we've got on the board so far.
Oh, Mikau's running wide. Validated.
There's a Trin's done a 154.5. Baitmate 155.5. So Simdog's time's looking not too shabby at the moment. Just on board with Sandeezy going to the bus stop. He'll be the starting his first flying lap in just a moment. As Potsy sits at 153.9. And, oh, car looks so loose. Going up to Radion. And, just gather it up. Phoebus sets a 53.4 on it straight away.
Eckham jumps into third.
Yeah, great time there from the Aston Martin driver.
Quite a lot happening, you don't know what to look at.
And it's the difficult thing about qualifying. It was a big snap of oversteer from Sandeezy through Pouon. It is tricky, like without having lots of camera people, like in real life. It's so hard to keep track of everything that's going on in qualifying. And stick on board with Sandeezy for the remainder of this lap, and it looks like it's going to be pretty good. This is a lot of the curb. Oh, again, yep, very loose rear.
I reckon he's going to get a 54.9. But I guess.
He's got a draggy set up by the sound of it. He's maxed out coming up the hill. And here we go into the bus stop. Ooh, runs a little bit deep. And he opens the steering. I think he might be getting ready to go for another lap. Or a wheel spin on the exit of the bus stop. But he'll come across the line and does a 55.1. So a bit slow there, Sandeezy. About a second and a half off the pace of Feber. Let's have a look at who we got on a lap. Captain of Gold, his teammate, yet to set a time. And Anacat from Mercedes is still in the pits, also yet to set a time. So one of these drivers will not make it through, and at the moment those two are the ones at risk.
It's definitely a mixed bag at the moment. There's no two teams that are close together, that's for sure.
Absolutely. 1.7 seconds covers the whole grid. Captain of Gold looking much better through Pouon compared to his teammate, but he's nearly lost the rear, and he's onto the grass. And that's his lap ruined as Eckham goes fastest to 153.066 from Aston Martin. See Feber purple in the first sector. Let's stay on board with the McLaren driver for this lap. But understeer and pull on doesn't invalidate, but that's costing him a bit of time. He's nearly losing the rear. Surely that's an extension, but I think the game knows he's lost a bit of time through there. And struggling so much for grip.
Definitely using the whole track there, isn't he?
Yeah, trying to get away with as much as he possibly can. He does go purple through that second sector despite nearly losing the car. Sandeezy goes fastest with his second lap with a 153.0, but it's immediately beaten by Potsy with a 152.3. I reckon he might have got a little bit of a slipstream there for the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, it definitely helps a lot around there.
Big Al second with a 52.7. Really good from Alpine there. 1-2 at the moment. And Feber across the line, fastest with 52.3. So the track is starting to get quicker. I'll jump aboard with Ando Cat, who's to start his lap, so he is the driver in the danger zone. Captain of Gold, 15th with 155.4. That is the time to beat at the moment.
I reckon we're going to be seeing combined YouTube Captain Gold, and a few others coming out at the very last minute just to get the last time in.
So they've got about 8 minutes to go. At the moment, everyone on track, but starting to get a few people come into the pits now. And a cat gets... Oh, he's invalidated. Just took too much curb at Radion. And he's going to have to go around again. Simdog looks like he's about to come into the pits. Let's jump aboard with the Haas of Apollo Pepsi. I think he might be coming in as well. His teammate Trin coming in soon. No, he stays out, so he's going to complete this lap. Hey, King J. And Trin across the line with 153.510.
Looks like Apollo's run out of fuel.
And here comes Macau across the line. And P4 with a 52.995. Fondant having a little bit of a moment there in Sector 2. Jump board with his teammate who's invalidated. And let me see, who else have we got? I think everyone's pretty much winding up their laps at the moment, but I'll jump on board with Andocatter, who's actually had a spin. Oh, and he's in the wall. Let's see, has he got any wing damage? I think so. He did knock it on that wall on the inside, but I think he might be coming straight into the pits. Hey, Helium Hamster. Yep, Ponton is there on track at the moment. Currently P10 with a 53.455. And we'll stay with Andocat here, see if he comes into the pits or if he goes around again. He does come in. I think his tyres are either overheated or he might have just a little bit of wing damage, so see how he goes. Good jump aboard with Batemate now. Alpha Tauri, currently the driver at risk. Andocat's still yet to set a time though. He's got 6 minutes to do it. Yeah, just a tad wet. And it looks like it will be clearing up a little bit in Q2 and 3, so expect some changeable conditions coming up as Batemate will commence this lap. Brakes just before the 100 meter board for turn 1. Misses the apex slightly. Keeps it off the curb. There's a lot of traffic coming out of the pit lane as Batemate tries to navigate that traffic. Able to do so. And comes through Eau Rouge and up to Radion. Oh, the rear just sticking with him. Rachel, no, this is on PC. And Batemate onto the Camel Straight now. Up into the chicane. And he's currently up by 3.5 tenths on his time, so that will put him up into 14th place, but he's got to find a little bit more time here to beat Apollo Pepsi's time. Doing well to control the wheel spin. Start of Sector 2, coming into the long right-hander as he comes down the hill. Oh, a little bit of oversteer, comes into No Name. Doesn't take a lot of curb, but uses as much as he can on the exit, and then down the hill towards Puon. And very conservative. Phoebe goes faster with the 52.179. Batemate controlling the car nicely. Twists down the hill and through Sector 2. Just tiptoeing around. Does touch the curb, but he finds a little bit of grip there. And this is looking like a half-decent lap here for Batemate. Oh, a little bit of a wobble, lucky not to invalidate there, but he's up by nearly a second on his time, so that's going to be good enough to put him up to P8 if we can finish off this lap nicely. It's mostly just a straight up to the bus stop chicane. And it's like he's negotiated Blanchimont quite well, and here we go into the braking zone just before the 100 meter board again, down to second, just kisses that curb on the inside, kisses the second one again, tries not to run onto the curb on the exit, and down the pit straight he'll go, trying to control the wheel spin. He improves by 1.1 seconds, that's P8 for Batemate with a 153.174. And we've got Simdogger now, who's going through Radion onto the Camel Straight, starting a flying lap.
So Andocat's the only one that hasn't set a time yet.
No, he's on his out lap now, so I think he's just coming up the hill now towards the bus stop.
Definitely cutting it close, isn't he?
Absolutely, so he'll have enough time to do At least
2 laps.
1 lap, maybe 2 if he's lucky, but he cannot afford to invalidate his next run. He only has to beat a 154 flat in order to get through to Q2. One YouTuber currently the driver at risk. And Simdog using all the track through on. Really great commitment there. The yellow flag at the bus stop. Looks like it's just false positive. Or a bit of a wobble from Simdogger as well. Sector 2, but he keeps together. He's got a bit of traffic coming up, but he might actually get a little bit of a tow from the Haas of Trin. And it actually goes purple in Sector 2 for Simdogger. I think it's starting. The rain's getting a bit lighter as well, so the track is drying out a bit. We might see these times start to tumble. And Simdogger about to complete his lap. He goes through the bus stop. Tries to control the wheel spin, and he comes across the line. P6 with a 53.044. Great time there, just beating his teammate. Now let's jump on board with Andocat here, who's yet to set a time. A lot of pressure now, with just under 2 minutes left on the clock. As he goes through No Name. Just has to set a clean lap here. He can push on his second one, but he needs to get a time on the board.
Really trying to get every bit out of that track just so he can stay within the for Q2.
Absolutely. And he's
yellow sector in front of him.
I think that's just the Ferrari staying out of the way, so he should be fine.
Looks like there's 2 cars there, not just one. Looks like 2 cars.
I think he should be okay. As we've got a yellow flag, looks like the Aston Martin is around in sector 2. Here we go, Andocat through Blanchimont. And he's run a bit wide. He had to get out of the throttle there to avoid extending and invalidating his lap. But he comes to the bus stop chicane. He should be able to get a time on the board here as long as he keeps it clean across his final corner. Does run a little bit wide just to make sure he is safely through, and he will have enough time to complete another lap. And there he goes, P11, 153.411. So it looks like combined YouTuber needs to set a 53.8 to beat his time as FIBA sets to 151.778. So we're jumping aboard with combined YouTuber now. 40 seconds left on the clock. He'll come across the line and he improves by 7 tenths. Goes P12 with a 153.334. So it's Apollo Pepsi at risk now. And he's on 4 lap old intermediate tyres. So he is at risk. I don't think he's pushing this lap as Mikau has retired. I think that's him out. He's crashed out. So Mikau will not be progressing. Now, combined YouTuber, has he crashed into the wall, or did he just pull over and retire? But there's Mikau in the wall, so he is out of qualifying. I'm going to jump on board with Trin. Oh.
Well, it looks like everyone gets through except for Mikau all combined. I wonder...
can you check Race Director to see whether or not that was a crash, or if that was just him retiring purposely? Because... that could be him out. Going to jump on board with Tannis. There we go. We've got the checkered flag now. So Podsy and Batemate get the checkered flag. Podsy currently fastest with 51.752. Next cross line is going to be Tannis. And he improves to P3 with 152.648. A jump on board with Aston Martin of, I think that Simdogger is going to be next across the line, and then followed by the 2 Alfa Romeos. Sandeezy goes P3. His teammate Captain McGold does not improve. Jumping down to Ekem, who's going to be next across the line for Aston Martin.
A combined retired and Mikau DNF'd. So.
Okay, so Crush is now the driver at risk as Ekem goes P5 with that time. Jump on board with that. I think that's Big Al about to come through the bus stop now. He's a couple of tenths up on his time, so he should be safe here. And he does improve up to P4. Now, Crush is currently up by 9 tenths of a second. He's going to beat Mikau's time anyway, and he does, P7. But Apollo Pepsi is going to be out of this session. And I think that's it. Andocat into the pits. He's just scrapes through. And Apollo Pepsi got the checkered flag with a 53.5, so he will not make it through to Q2. But Mikau will not take part in Q2 after crashing out.
So 14 drivers for Q2. Might be a little bit easier to follow.
Absolutely. A bit less traffic as well.
I wonder if it's going to be dry next session.
Possibly. I'm not sure if the track conditions are going to be perfect though, because a lot of standing water will need to be cleared up. Here we go. Potsy, quickest time with 151.752. Just beats Phoebe there by 200ths of a second, with Sandeezy managing to get P3, so pretty solid performance there from the Alfa Romeo driver. But then down in the elimination zone, we've got Apollo Pepsi not setting a time fast enough to make it through to Q2, and Mikau did manage to set a time good enough for P10, but unfortunately crashed out on his final run, and he will not take part in Q2. So yeah, just having a look at the incidents there, and I think you did mention it, that there is no terminal damage for one YouTuber, so he just retired on track, so he will be taking part.
If you go to drivers, it shows that he's retired along with Fever.
Oh, ran out of time.
Yep.
Just going to fix this window.
Out of whack?
No, it's just, I mean, actually, I'll do this now while we're waiting for everything. It's just because I've got it in windowed mode, so just bear with me 2 seconds. Get it sorted. That is not what I wanted. That's even worse. Here we go. Bear with me. We're so normally I turn the screen off when see, this is the last round of the season, though. It's, you know, everything was bound to go wrong.
Now I can see your widescreen view.
Actually, it's got to be this one, I think. No, this is still the wrong screen. Better, but
there we are.
There we go. There we go. We're good. We're good now. We are all good. All right. Now that the technical difficulties are done, it's miraculously blue skies, dry track. Thank you, Codemasters.
Yep, big change from Q1.
Yeah,
looks like it's actually pretty hot out there.
I know, it's unrealistic. I would have thought the track would at least be a little bit wet and maybe still a bit cloudy, but it's pretty impressive that the marshals here at Spa have been able to clean up the track so much.
Yep, must be those new jets they used to
clean absolutely.
The track up. What's your predictions, Gus?
So interestingly, we've got Potsy and Sandeezy on the medium tyres, so maybe they'll try and get through on that harder compound. Yeah, I expect Fever, Potsy to be up the top. Big Al, I reckon, as well, will do well. Sandeezy showing some good pace too. Out of session, I reckon. I reckon Simdogger, Pondon, come on, YouTuber, and a cat, I reckon, will get eliminated this session.
Yep.
We'll see. Anything could happen. Make a little mistake here, and you're in the wall and out of qualifying. So,
anything is possible.
Absolutely. I'll eat my words later, and we'll jump aboard the Haas of Trin as he commences the first run in Q2.
I reckon we're going to see Potsy on the podium this race, possibly Batemate. I think Batemate has got a lot to try and do this weekend, and I reckon we're going to see Fever up there as well if Fever can keep it clean.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a difficult track to pass occasionally when you're in the DRS train, but was Trin and Validates run a little bit wide there and cross the line. Jump on with Potsy, see how he goes around here. Yeah, it can be tricky to overtake if you get caught in the DRS train, but there's a few options with the pit strategy. You can opt for an undercut. The tyres do last quite a while here. Potsy nearly loses the rear. So committed. Oh, he's run a bit wide at Puon, and that's him done for the moment. Come on, YouTube, just started a lap. Let's jump aboard with the Ferrari driver. manages combine to get right out of the throttle there through the chicane. Now he's on controller, so it is a tricky track, this one, because there's a lot of corners that feed into each other, so it's very hard to get that precision going left-right with an analog stick. But he's doing well. Just might have lost a little bit of time there. We've got a yellow flag coming up. We've got a slow Alfa Romeo through Sector 2, but got going again as the time starts to come in. Sandeezy 143.2 on the mediums, Simdogger 46.2 on the softs, not representative at the moment. Thank you very much for the follow, Pineapple Kid. Glad you could join us. And purple through the second sector for combined, so on some good pace this time around. He's got a slow Alfa Romeo up ahead. This is the one that caused that yellow flag. Hopefully stays out of the way of the Ferrari. Captain Gold does keep left, so does not impede combined. And he comes up to the bus stop chicane on the brakes, runs a little bit wide, doesn't quite kiss the curb. Misses the second one as well. Able to get back onto the throttle nice and early, and he comes off line P2 with 43.4. I think that was Captain Goals at a 58.5, so I think he had a bit of a spin in Sector 2 there. We're going to jump on board with Anacat and the Mercedes, so we saw he had a little bit of trouble in Q1 getting a lap together, but the dry conditions he might have a bit better luck as Batemate stays out of the way there at the GT pit straight. The yellow flag up ahead, a slow Alfa Romeo, just keeping out of the way. Captain Gold again, looks like he might have invalidated his second run. Oh, these cars look like they're only just grabbing hold of the road. Like the...
Yeah, I think they're trying to literally just scrape everything through. Yeah, it is Tier 1, they try and literally use every inch of that road.
Yeah, we had to give a directive before the race, no one to use the esports line, so that's a bit of AstroTurf between No Name and Puon.
Does it really give you much
it basically just means that you can straight line out of No Name and stay on that AstroTurf all the way down to the left-hander.
Yeah.
So, whereas if you stay on the track, you do have to get out of the throttle a little bit, or not carry quite as much speed through the corner because you have to get back onto the black stuff. You don't want to touch the grass or you will spin.
Though, trying to go the esports line though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, definitely an element of risk. Exactly, you cannot touch the grass or you will spin. Yeah, and a cut there, quickest to the 42.8. We've got our Simdogger in the chat. End of the game cycle on D-Stick is still a thing, and yeah, hopefully that fixes itself with the next game. But we'll have to just hope that's the case. This crash goes fastest at 42.6 for the Ferrari. I'm going to jump back to Ekem and the Aston who's actually invalidated. So we're going to jump back even further and see. I think that's... we got Artanis. No, he's done.
We've got Trin starting on a lap now.
Trin starting on a lap.
With Batemate in front of him.
Beautiful, thank you for that. And Trin onto the Camel straight. I'll get a little bit of tow here. Oh, it's probably a bit too far away from Batemate to get a tow.
Wonder when we're going to see Pondon out.
Pondon, yes, he's still in the pits. P12 at the moment. Oh, a bit of a slide from Trin through No Name. Took a lot of curb and just unsettled the car a little bit as he comes through Puon. And runs it out nice and wide. Doesn't quite go to the full extent of the track limits, but keeps it nice and tight. Carries that speed. And this is looking like a better lap for the Haas driver. You can see the number of cars who've actually invalidated their first runs. Everyone down, P7 down, have not set a representative time. Even Simdogger a little bit off the pace there. I think that desync might have caused some issues with his time. We go, Trin looking like he's going to set a decent time here as he climbs up the hill again towards bus stop. Almost used up all of his deploy.
Line.
We go.
Let's see what Batemate does and Trin together. So Bate goes 42.5.
Trin 42.7. He'd almost used up all of his ERS deploy as well, so using absolutely every little bit of battery he could get away with. Potsy has invalidated, so let's jump aboard with Big Al for Alpine. There's Purple in the first sector, has had a really good start. Oh, he's nearly spun the car though. Took a lot of curb through to chicane and nearly paid the price.
Want me to warm up your rear tyres?
Absolutely. No name as well. Absolutely flat chat.
And report Pondon is now out of the pits.
There we go. The Williams driver yet to set a time. His teammate currently in P5 with a 43.225. Oh, Big Al using so much curb. Very committed this lap. Purple through the second sector.
Oh, Phoebe's just gone up the back of Captain of Gold.
Oh, is Captain Gold? He was on an outlap, so he's been impeded, so that's not good at all. Did they get any grid penalties?
Nothing as of yet, but it was black and white. Captain of Gold was in the way.
Big Al goes fastest to 42.1. Great lap there from the Alpine driver. Jumping ball with Phoebe. Has he got any wing damage from that? Yes, he's lost his end plate. He's currently P13, so he's got to get back to the pits and get a new set of tyres before he can go again.
He's going to be cutting it close.
Very close.
Cutting it close. He's going to have to do it quick, smart.
On board with Sandeezy now. He's currently P7 on a lap.
Well, I think the stewards will be looking into that one, that's for sure. Condon started his lap, let's see what he can do.
And keeps it nice and tight, Sandeezy. It's the white line, shortening the track distance just to get a few extra hundredths of a second.
Town is trying to give Pondon a slipstream down that
straight. Go, Sandeezy fast with the 42.1. Going to jump on board with Pondon now. As goes Purple in the first sector. A few drivers on their out laps now. Just a couple of minutes left in the session. Phoebe's still in the pits.
And he's just driven out, so hopefully he can just make it.
2 minutes 44. He's got enough time. He's got a minute leeway there as well, so should be able to get a lap in, no problem. It's a good looking lap so far from Pondon. And that looks like the Alpine up ahead. Is he going to stay out of the way? It's Big Al. Oh no, that was
very close.
I don't think he impeded Pondon there, but that was very, very close. Pondon coming up the hill through Blanchimont and up to the bus stop. There we go, flicks it in nicely. Pondon controls the wheel spin on the exit. Absolutely, comes across the line. And P9, 143.539. So he's the slowest of the drivers who've set a representative time. Simdogger on an out lap has done a 146.2, but he was complaining about a bit of desync, so hopefully that is resolved. We'll jump on board with his teammate Ekem, who's currently on the Kemmel Straight coming up to the chicane. No name, absolutely committed a second. Ooh, bit of a cheeky move there. He nearly took the esports line. Watching your son, and goes through Pouon.
Really throw it in there, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Car's sticking though, so get more downforce the faster you go. Just all about finding the limit. The yellow flag, Simdogger's out.
seconds on top.
Oh, Simdogger trying to improve on that time, and he's crashed out at Radion. As Potsy goes fastest to 42.116. Ekim into the bus stop chicane. And
Hopefully this doesn't impede Fever.
we go.
Ooh, that was close.
142.2
Right on
for
the exit.
Ekim.
Right on the exit of the fast corner up the top of the hill, there was Simdogger on the exit.
Go combined improves 42.7. We've got a number of drivers at to complete laps. Tanis next across the line goes P4 to 42.233. And I think we got Trin is going to be the next one across the line. 3 seconds left in the session. He'll be the first to get the checkered flag, but I think a number of drivers have completed their run. There goes Big Al, P3 with a 42.167. I think he was in the pits already. Did not come out for a final run. So Simdogger says the car just turned itself right. So very unfortunate there. Hopefully that's all sorted for the race. It's currently in P12 with a couple of drivers behind. Could improve, including Fever, who did manage to get around for a lap. Combined YouTuber has retired and cannot lead a lap there. As Tring will come across the line and he goes P7 to 42.4. We've got the Mercedes of Andocat is next, but I think he's backed out. We've got Fever next, who's hardly any fuel, but he should be better than a 42.8 here. He comes through the bus stop chicane.
He had a bit of a moment turn 7, so it'll be interesting to see where he ends up.
We go fastest to 41.9, and that was with a Aston Martin that was binned at Radion. Jump on board with Batemate, who's invalidated, so we're going to go a little bit further back. I think that's going to be Potsy. He's also invalidated. Jump on board with Ekim, who is not pushing for a lap here. And
Captain of Gold is the only one pushing for a lap at the moment.
here we go. He needs to do a 42.7 to beat combined YouTuber's time to get into Q3. Bit of traffic here at the chicane. Posse just staying out of the way. Captain of Gold comes around the final corner. He's been on these tyres for a couple of laps. And are they going to have enough in them? No! He goes P11 with a 42.730. Combined YouTuber into Q3 by 21 thousandths of a second.
That's pretty close.
Absolutely. Great work from Combined. Just sneaks it through. And unfortunately, we say goodbye to Captain of Gold, Andocat, Pondon, and Simdogger from qualifying in Tier 1.
Alright, waiting for the guys to retire so we can jump into the next session.
Psycho in the chat saying Miko is here. He's not on TikTok, so we don't have to wait. So that's very, very considerate of him, Psycho. Thank you for that. There we go. Quickest time there from Fever, 41.9. A couple of tenths quicker than Potsy and Sandeezy. Sandeezy showing a lot of performance at the moment. And Big Al as well, just 2.6 tenths of a second behind. And Combined there, just sneaking in to Q3. But yeah, unfortunate for Captain Gold, Ando, Catpon and Simdogger. We say goodbye to them. And we wind up to the final qualifying session before the final race of Tier 1 for Season 8.
Is it a long session Q3? I can't remember.
12 minutes, I believe, so enough time for 2 laps, but that is it. So could be, if you mess up your first lap, it could be done for one-shot quality to set that top 10 order.
It's going to be an interesting race, that's for sure.
Absolutely, looking forward to it. Okay, looks like we're in for a sunny qualifying session. So for the drivers to get their tyres ready and fuel loads sorted, and we see the Aston Martin and I think that's Alfa Romeo teams getting ready, Ferrari as well. So that was Alpine, and I think the Alpine got out first, got the Ferrari now as well. There, Big Al first in the queue with Ekim. Oi, Ekim with a cheeky cutting across the pit line. There's a bit of a drag race going on to get to Eau Rouge and Radion.
I wonder if they've got a gentleman's agreement for first lap you don't overtake. That's what they do in real life in general rule of
Wow.
thumb.
Yeah, that's what's meant to happen, but we all know that that's rarely the case.
Yeah, it looks like Ekam's really trying to get past him. I think he's just backed
Yeah,
off
he's
now.
backed off. Gotta be careful though. He definitely crossed the white line for pit exit, so the game only gives you a warning for that in qualifying, but a bit rude to do that to try and get around the car in front. But Gal
Yeah, you
able
could
to stay in
classify it
front.
as bad sportsmanship, couldn't you?
Potentially, I think there are pit entry and exit procedures for every race, but might be lucky enough to get away with that one. Just got to be a bit careful.
Last thing you want to do is win the race, but then lose it on an infringement.
Yeah, exactly. He's staying very close to the back of Big Al. Maybe he wants his toe up the Kemmel straight.
Yeah, maybe he's planning to overtake him during a quali lap.
Oh, it's a bit risky. I wouldn't do it. I think he has backed off just a little bit now. They come up the hill towards Blanchimont.
But now they're in Sector 3, the rule is not to overtake, is
yes,
that correct?
I think that is the rule. I think that is right. We go.
Very close.
Big Al opens up the steering to carry as much speed down to turn 1. Here we go. First lap of Q3 here in Tier 1 for the final round of Season 8 Aussie Formula Racing. Big Al short shifting up through the gears. Control that wheel spin. And the run up to Eau Rouge as we see a Ferrari cut to the GT3 pit exit to stay out of the way. It's combined YouTuber. Big Al able to carry on unimpeded. Opens up the DRS, and it's now a long wait down to turn, what is it, 3, 4, 5, one of those.
Yep.
Flicks it into the right-hander, takes a lot of curve through the left, opens up the angle for the next corner, cutting it a fair bit, running as wide as he can get away with.
It's amazing how stable their cars are over those bumps.
Absolutely, and he's carrying so much speed through the corners as well. The car's just sticking. It's on rails, this Alpine. As Big Al comes down to Puon. Oh, only a slight lift, no braking at all. It's a very committed lap here. He uses that grey curb on the inside just to rotate the car just a little bit more, carrying absolutely maximum speed, and doesn't extend. And this is looking like a pretty solid lap here from Big Al.
Definitely very sturdy on the ground, isn't it?
Absolutely, and this is part of the track where you can relax a little bit, just take the path of least resistance and get yourself all sorted for the final braking zone coming into the bus stop. As we've got a Ferrari round in Sector 2, and we go a little bit deeper than he probably would have liked through the bus stop, but controls the wheel spin nicely, straight lines it along the pit wall, comes across the line at 141.879. Coming on board with Ekam, who's going to be next across the line with a 142.3. And then we've got Artanis is invalidated, but that's Posse coming through next. What time is he going to do? A little bit of wheel spin coming out of the final corner. He'll come across line P2 with a 42.0. Next is going to be Batemate with a 142.595. We've then got Trin and the Haas. He'll come across the line next and do a 42.7. And then we have the two Ferraris about to come across the line. I think Crush may have actually invalidated, so he is done. So let's jump back to FIBA and the McLaren. Still on a flying lap. Comes into the bus stop, chicane, carries so much speed through that first part and then just flicks the car across to the left. Controls the wheel spin. He comes across the line. Fastest to the 141.615. We've got Sandeezy as well on a lap, but he has invalidated. So let's jump back to the Ferrari of combined YouTuber. So it's just got a little bit overcast, I've noticed, since the start of the session, so I wonder if it's going to do anything for the track temperature and the performance of the cars. This combined YouTube is going to get a little bit of traffic. He's got the Haas in front of him, who does run very wide at Puon just to stay out of the way. And Ferrari doesn't quite look as planted through there. Had to have a little bit of a downshift and a dab of the brakes to just make sure he made it around the corner, and he's not as nearly as aggressive on the curves as we saw Big Al just a moment ago. There we go. Here's the easier part for the Ferrari. Straight line speed is all that matters. And Psycho saying we expect rain at the end. So a little bit of wet weather at the end of the session.
Ooh.
And
They'll make the most of it now, then.
Well, this is big for Crush and Sandeezy. Crush is already on another outlap, so Sandeezy's got to get a lap in, either this lap or he's got to come straight into the pits. Combined, you two has come straight in. He did not complete his lap, and I think that might have been a mistake. He needs to get a time on the board, and if there is rain coming, I don't know if that's the right call, but jump on board with that.
If there's rain coming, it all depends on his fuel load. I reckon he probably wouldn't have enough fuel for the next lap.
Yeah, true, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's the wrong call.
There's drops coming. There's drops on Sandeezy's screen. I think Combines. Oh, missed a trick there. He should have got a time on the board. He would have out-qualified his teammate for sure.
So if you DNF in Q1, does that mean you DNF altogether or no? You just DNF in whatever position you finish.
So you start in P15, so you don't get to participate in Q2, and you will start P15 on the race. Yep. There goes Sandeezy. He'll come across the line now. And P3 with a 42.0, so there's a little bit of pace left there, but here it goes Crush. He's yet to start a lap. Tanis is already retired. He's not coming out again. Trin retires as well.
Crush is just about to head over the line.
Here we go. So it's going to be a sketchy lap, but it's going to guarantee he'll start in front of his
teammate.
One
to watch. See if you can make it.
There's still a bit of pace in the track. Sandeezy put in a good time there, and that was on used tyres in a track that's starting to get wet. We see Combine coming out of the pits as well, but...
Tanis, I think he's DNF'd.
No, I think he's retired. They've retired in the pits. They don't think they're going to improve with the conditions getting worse.
One, two, three. We've got 3 retired so far.
Go. Crush pushing very hard. You can see the track's starting to get a bit darker with this rain. It's starting to affect the conditions.
He just gets one time and he's guaranteed that spot ahead of him.
Absolutely, and his teammate not on a flying lap at the moment. Fever's on an out lap, so is Potsy. They reckon maybe they can just improve a little bit before it gets too wet. Oh, yes, a big slide from Crush there through Puon. The rear of the car really not happy. And getting...
well just to keep it there.
Oh, we're not seeing any spray come off the tyres. That's usually the indicator that it's too wet for slicks. Oh, yeah, it's a big tank slapper across the curb, but he's kept it pointing in the right direction. Another step of oversteer. He hasn't invalidated, but you can see there's some standing water through the section of the track. He has another tank slapper. Oh, how has he kept it going? And he's having a massive push now, climbing up the hill. You can see the spray coming off the track now. This is definitely not slick conditions. As he comes up to the bus stop. And he brakes. Is he going to lock up? How has he not locked the tyres there coming into bus stop? And he comes around the corner and you can see all the standing water on the pit straight, and he's really struggling for traction. That's a 146.8, but that guarantees he will start in front of his teammate.
I think that's it for Q3.
Absolutely. Combined YouTuber is going to continue on to do a lap, but he should have finished that lap he was on. It wasn't invalid. It may not have been a great time, but as long as he was 4 seconds, within 4 seconds of Trin, he would have beaten his teammate. So it's a Ferrari strategy yet again, as DRS has been disabled. He Crush has nearly impeded his teammate. And Combine's not going to get DRS on this lap, so this is not going to be a great time at all.
At least we can admire his green, blue and red helmet.
You can just see how much water there is through Sector 2. Oh, he's kept the rear. He's just kept it.
Maybe he's getting a bit of practice in for when his tyres go off.
Absolutely. He's still pushing on, so we'll stay with him. Oh, it's another big squirm coming out of No Name. And he's off the throttle there. I think he's abandoned this lap. And he's at a spin. I think that was out of frustration more than anything else. Nah, look at the car sliding across the track at Puon. I think he's trying to turn it into the wall there, but he's gone way too slow to retire. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
All right, there we go. That's the grid set for Tier 1. FIBA takes pole with a 41.615. Big Al second. And Sandeezy consistent all through the qualifying session, P3. Then got Potsy, Eka, Martanis, Batemate, Tren. And the two Ferraris not setting a time on the slick conditions. Crush just getting a time in there at the end, but combined far too wet for him to be able to set a time at all. So disappointing there from the Scuderia. They will be starting off the 5th row side by side. FIBA continues his impressive run of form for this season and puts in a lot of hard work, so it's well deserved. So we wait for us to tick over to the race lobby. Now I'm just going to try and sort out the stream title. I think it's still showing as Tier 3, so just make sure that's all correct. It is still Tier 3. I'll fix that up. And there we go, all sorted. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you very much for the follow Charlie40. Glad you can join us. Alright, just waiting for the drivers to confirm their strategies for the race. So everyone in the top 10, I think, will be starting on the softs. We did have a dry Q2. Thank you very much for the follow, M6TYT. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but that's as good as it gets tonight. Here we go. Drivers start the formation lap, and if I can just see what the tyres are. There we go. So, top 10 all on the softs. We've got Captain Gold, Endocat, Simdogger, and Apollo Pepsi on the mediums. Got Mikau on the hards, so interesting mixing it up. The strategy, the soft mediums are the preferred strategy, but this final round of the season, I think Mikau just wanting to do something different.
You never know, Mikau might have a different set of cards behind him. So, he might know something we don't.
Well, he's only got the one, car behind him, so, I mean, by all means, go long, see what happens. And go. Get that all sorted in a moment. We're just going to stick with FIBA as he winds around. Psycho says, Mikau is channeling his inner Albon. We plan on doing 21 laps on the hards and only pitting because we have to. I like it. I like it, Psycho. I like it. Don't mind mixing things up a little bit for the final round of the season, especially here in Tier 1 where I think...
Who was it that did that at Baku? Was it Latifi who did that?
I don't know. He didn't do it well. Albon.
No. Well, he still got in the points. He still got in the points.
No, that was Albon at Melbourne. He did it there. So, no, Latifi's the only driver. I think he's the only driver who hasn't run in the top 10 at all this season. But he and Schumacher are the only two not to score points yet.
I'm sure those will change maybe next season. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Schumacher's had a little bit of bad luck. I mean, he's been in those positions and... Canada, he looked for sure to be finishing in the points, and then his car blew up. Ferrari, a reliability at play again.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but what can you do?
Absolutely. Go, drivers coming up to the bus stop chicane, so we'll be underway shortly. Everyone being well behaved, staying close together, so should be waiting too long for the AI to form everyone up on the grid. And it will be interesting in the new game. You can drive yourself into the grid spot manually now, so that's going to be a little bit of a nice...
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Immersive.
Who's going to be balking the...
But I don't think he screwed it up that bad. I mean, it's not like you can park it diagonally. I mean, the game does that for you some tracks anyway. So I think Monaco sometimes it points you at the pit wall, so it can be a bit sketchy sometimes. All right, here we go. All drivers on the grid, so we will be underway shortly. The final time here in Tier 1 this season. We go. Red lights coming on for the final time on F1 2021 in Tier 1. And we're underway. Looks like a really good start from FIBA and Big Al alongside, but Sandeezy's had a really good start as well. You can see there the other Alpine trying to move across the cover. And FIBA running the Alpine out a little bit wide. A few guys going quite wide there through turn 1.
Batemate round.
And so come up to Eau Rouge and look at Tanis and Ekem nearly going side by side. Oh, he's been forced onto the curb to try and go around, and it looks like Eckham just staying in front as Artanis. Oh, as we can see, just to the front, look at that. Fieber and Sandeezy. Oh, Sandeezy takes the lead of the race. What a start for the Alfa Romeo. Around the outside, if you don't mind, of both the McLaren and the Alpine, and he is leading this race. We jump a little bit further back, we've got side-by-side Trina Captain of Gold going into the right-hander. Oh, a little bit of contact, and the Ferrari's trying to go down the inside as well. Come on, YouTube is sticking his nose down the inside, making it 3 wide. As they go to No Name, the Ferrari right up against the wall. And thankfully they got that all sorted out, because that was pretty sketchy.
Pondon side-by-side with Combined.
Absolutely, Pondon backs out. See Ferrari. Not leaving a lot of room there.
No, definitely not. Now they're starting to sort themselves out. Now we're going to see a DRS train for a couple of laps.
Absolutely. Very single file through Sector 2. Oh, as we got a lot of contact. What's going on up here? It's Artanis, Batemate, very slow. So Combined YouTube goes on the outside. Artanis has picked up a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Batemate. I wonder if he's actually had a spin in front, and that's resulted in everyone behind having a bit of a collision. Now Pondon right on the back of the Ferrari, and further back Artanis dropping down to 13th place. I think Batemate has had a spin there, and he's been collected while he's been stationary in the middle of the road.
It looks like Bate hasn't got any damage at the moment.
As he does
pitting.
peel off, and so does Artanis. So yeah, I think they had a bit of a coming together there with
That's right, they've still got plenty of race to go, so right here I'll probably go for mediums and just try and do a long stint till it's a safety car.
Pondon gets the move done on Combined YouTuber. Going to jump up to the front of the grid. We've got Podsy all over the back of his teammate Big Al. And is there going to be a bit of a switcheroo here? Podsy claiming he's been 100 times faster than Big Al all weekend. And I don't think Alpine are going to listen to him. They're going to prefer to go with the driver who's in the full-time seat. Having a look further back, we've got 3 wide again, Combined, Simdogger and Pondon. And it looks like they get it all sorted out into the chicane, Combined up to P9, Pondon and Simdogger 10th and 11th.
There's a good little pack there, isn't there? So they're all trying really hard to get within the points, and they're doing quite well at the moment.
Absolutely. We've got an update from Psycho on the AlphaTauri pit wall that Artanis spun and collected bait, so that was where the contact occurred there. So the other way around to what we thought.
Yeah, sometimes you just have bad luck with some races. I think it's AlphaTauri's.
Oh, so we've got Potsy around. He's gone around. I think he took too much curb there. Snip that on the replay, and he's going to have to wait for every single car to go past now. Let's have a look at that again.
Catch back up now.
So we were following him, and he just took a little bit too much curb on that left-hand side, and around the Alpine went. He's actually gone around again on his own.
Yeah, it looks like we had Batemate.
And a reset to track as well. Potsy, that's not good enough, mate. You're reserving here. You need to obey the rules of the league. And you have just gone and got yourself a penalty. Alright, jumping back up to Ekem.
Yeah, it looks like we've had Batemate and Artanis come together again, because it looks like they're both slow again. They're way back.
No, that's Potsy into the pits, so he had that spin, and back.
We had a yellow with Artanis on it. Artanis is in the pits again.
Yeah, he might have just gone off again. The Backman's continued on, so I don't think there was anything between them, but as Apollo Pepsi's moved on, Simdogger up into the points for the Haas team.
And Easy's doing really well, staying out in front of Fever. I reckon Fever's just trying to hold on to his ERS. Oh no, he's using it a fair bit, isn't he?
He is.
Just trying to keep on Sandeezy.
Big Al's sticking with him as well. It's half a second behind Ekem too, but Crush has dropped off the back of the top 4. But he's kind of in a little battle of his own as we jump down to Mikau. He's making a move on Simdogger. I wonder if Simdogger's got a little bit of damage because he's gone back a few positions this lap. As Mikau on those hard tyres up into P11, 4 places since the start of the race.
He's not doing bad, is he? Best part is he'll be going past the guys that'll be pitting soon too.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it? Pit window 8 to 12, is it?
Roughly thereabouts. The mediums can go quite a while, as we see Andocat trying to get a move on Simdogger as well, going through Blanchimont. Simdogger just able to hang around the outside, but is there going to be a little move from the Mercedes? No, decides to abort that move, and Andocat has to settle for 13th. Have a look at the front. Oh, a bit of contact between... Oh, I think that was just Trin losing the rear on the exit curve at turn 1. He's managed to get past Captain of Gold for P6, but he's outside of DRS and crushed by about 2.5 seconds. He's going to be very vulnerable to the Alfa Romeo behind as they come out of Radion onto the Camel Straight. And you can see the Alfa Romeo is already all over the back of him and gets the move done pretty comfortably. You're going to have a little bit of a look further back as combined YouTuber and Pondon battle it out, has the run down to the chicane, and the Ferrari covers the inside line and holds that 8th position. Have a look further back is Simdogger sizes up, Andocat as well, but he definitely, I think, has some damage, so I don't think he is in for a nice time today. So Trin, over the back of Captain Gold, I think, yes, that was the easy move on the Camel Straight, we saw a little bit earlier. Trin sticking with him though. But Crush is absolutely in a race of his own at the moment, 2.5 seconds down the road from Captain Gold and Trin, at about 2.5 seconds off the back of Eckham as well. Pondon closing in on the back of the Ferrari of combined YouTuber. It's doing quite well at the moment, made up a couple of places since the start of the race.
Then the next 2 to 3 laps we'll start seeing the soft runners pit, and then we'll see the medium runners pit probably around lap 16, 17.
Absolutely, just following Big Al at the moment, closing in on the back of Fever, who's really not looked like he's got the pace to get past Sandesi here without using up a ton of his ERS. Takes a lot of curb. Going to jump further back though, because Trin's just made a move on Captain of Gold up into P6. And having a look again, oh, there's a bit of contact between combined YouTuber and Pondon. Pondon having to cut the corner. And Ferrari not happy with that at all. Gives him a good shove back and maintains the position. But we're going to see the Williams go for a move down the inside. Oh, he's just on the inside. He's going to try and go around the outside of No Name, but he yields the position to the Ferrari, but he's going to have a better exit because the combine runs very deep. Had to get out of the throttle there, going side by side through Prix. Is Williams going to stick it down the inside? He does. The Ferrari leaves the space, and he's got the move done. It's a great move there by Pondon. And he's up into P8. The Ferrari looks to try and come back at him.
Not giving up yet.
I think he's going to have to. Not going to get much of a move done for the rest of Sector 2.
I reckon Combine's got a bit of damage. He seems to be dropping back quite quickly, doesn't he?
Oh, we've got a yellow flag. The Aston Martin Simdogger is around in Sector 2. It's very unfortunate, but like I said before...
Second driver this race, isn't it?
I think he might have a little bit of damage, Simdogger. Not on the front wing, but I think his car's not in a great way.
No. Would have probably touched that inside curb and probably just unsettled it. It's pretty easy to do there.
So Feber looking a lot closer to Sandesi this time around, and Sandesi looks like he's really struggling on the exit of turn 1 with traction. As looks like the McLaren sizing up the Alfa Romeo through Eau Rouge and Radion. Big Al's dropped off a little bit as well, so Feber, this is a good opportunity to go for the move. He opens up the DRS flap, gets tucked in behind the slipstream of the Alfa Romeo. Is he going to make a move? He thinks about it. He's going for a late lunge, and he's alongside of the Alfa Romeo. A little bit of contact. He's around. The McLaren's around.
Fever's around. Oh, yeah, he's made a safe re-entry.
Absolutely.
So half the battle, but are his tyres cooked? Oh, his tyres are definitely...
They're going to be very hot. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come into the pits at the end of this lap. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. And, oh, I missed the start of it. It looked like... he may have either touched
himself.
Either he took too much curb or he just understeered into the side. It looked like there was enough room, but a bit of coming together.
One of those contact models, I believe, with F1 2021.
Possibly, yeah. We'll have to look at it after the race. Captain of Gold now all over the back of Fever, who's dropped down to P5. Eckham and Trush going through, as well as Big Al, who's just within DRS range of Sandeezy, who's still in the lead of the race. Eckham 4 seconds behind Big Al now, so not able to stay with the lead too. Smitty in the chat saying it was Deezy. Not too sure. We'll have to wait and see what the replay shows in the reports this week. And there we go. That's Fever coming into the pit, so getting off those worn softs. So he's the first one to pit. Mediums can go to the end from here. And are we going to see anyone else respond to that? And while Sandeezy continues to lead, 6/10 lead from Big Al, who's just going to be managing, I think, the gap at the moment. Trin not really showing pace to get past Captain of Gold. I think the mediums are starting to become the quicker tyre compared to those on the softs. And Apollo Pepsi and
the
Mikal.
fall-off point is lap 6, lap 7.
There we go. So Apollo Pepsi and Mikal looking like they might get past combined YouTuber shortly, who's staying with Pondon as Trin tries to get past the Alfa Romeo. I think he decided better of it. He's quicker in the straights with the DRS, but he's not quicker in the corners, which is why he's got so much ground to match up when he's got the DRS zone. So no contact made, according to Ali, and Feber spun on the curb on his own. As Feber's picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Looks like he's at the end of the Kemmel Straight. He's exceeded track limits down there. So Big Al closing in on the back of Sandeezy now. About half a second is the gap. Going to see one of them come into the pits to respond to Fever, or are they going to continue on a little bit longer? Big Al does come into the pit. Sandeezy stays out in the lead. Now,
yeah, the undercut is quite big round here.
Eckham as well
because,
comes in.
Where
Rush 2. Captain of Gold stays out with his teammate Trin as well.
Well, we've got a few of the guys pitting.
Yep, Eckham in too. Pondon in. So interesting to see where it all plays out. There's Feber now coming through bus stop. Now he was P5 after his spin, but before he came into the pits, see if he's able to get the jump on Big Al. Big Al looks like he's at the pit exit already, so no chance of that happening there. Eckham though, just coming out of the pits now, a little bit further down the road. There's Crush too in front of Feber. Feber's got a lot more speed though. Is he going to try and go for a move? Goes around the outside of Crush. I think he's got it. Having a look further up and combined, and Mikau having a little bit of a tussle through the corners, but I think Mikau's got the move done now, up into P5.
I reckon it's quite a smart thing to try the hards from all the way back there.
Absolutely. Mikau up to P5, just half a second behind Pepsi, who started on the mediums. And yeah, running pretty well at the moment, Mikau. So you won't have to pit until the dying stages of the race. This picks up a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Yeah, and if there's a late safety car, that plays perfectly into his hands because everyone else around him is going to pit onto the softs as well.
Yep, so he's just sitting there taking the positions as they pit, and yeah. Great spot.
But that is the question. Are AlphaTauri going to keep him out until the last lap to pit for the softs just because? Or are they going to play it a bit smart?
I think it all depends. I think it all depends. If there is a safety car, I'm sure they'll be pitting. And maybe go on the mediums from there. But it depends on when the safety car comes out.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Here we go. Sandeezy's in the pits. So Big Al currently in P8. Is he going to get the jump on the Alfa Romeo with the undercut? It's going to be close on the exit here. I think Big Al might have him here. I think Sandeezy's been done. They're going to be side by side. Yes, Big Al's got him with the undercut. Sandeezy now effectively P2. Big Al takes the effective lead of the race.
It's a good second gap too.
Absolutely. On board with McCann now, who's sizing up Apollo Pepsi on the Kemmel Straight. Up into P2. And there we go. Good move by Mikau. Up a bit further back, Feber gets to move on Eckham up into P7. And now he's about 6 seconds off the pace of Sandeezy. So back to our effective 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so it looks like Feber's in recovery mode now, so he's going to have to try and make it towards the end on that set of tyres. And with a penalty on him. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes up on top. It's all about staying clean here. As soon as you get a 3-second penalty, that's pretty much it, because everyone's so close around this track.
Absolutely. London on the back of Simdogger now for P11. And Simdogger really struggling at the moment out there. Big up, and Big Al makes a move on Ando Cat into the bus stop chicane, up into P4.
And Mikael's come up to set P2. Well done. If he keeps his pace up, I'm sure he won't have an issue at all.
Well, Feber goes fastest to 144.652, so he's got a lot of pace down there in P7, just got to get through the traffic. Hello, Pepsi coming back at McCann now. Got the move done comfortably. Work by the Haas driver, currently running in P2.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people still yet to pit.
Go, 12 laps to go in the race. Plenty of time. Coming further back, and Ponner makes the move on Simdogger, but Simdogger making it very difficult for him. Forces him right up onto the exit curb. The Williams gets the move done up into P11.
Starting to see all the fresh medium runners.
Oh, look how slow Mikko is on the hard tyre, and he's actually going to box Big Al in here. He tried to go for a move around the outside. He's still got it. He gets the move done. He had nowhere to go because Apollo Pepsi was in the way as well.
He wasn't going to give it to him lightly, that's for sure.
And here we go. Looks like Sandesi all over the back of Andercat as well.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea pitting round here, chucking a set of medium tyres on. Just that way you secured yourself to the end of the race.
Oh, as Big Al gets through on Apollo Pepsi, Mikau tries to follow him. Pepsi squeezing the AlphaTauri up onto the curb. He doesn't want to let Mikau through, and he's held position, but is the AlphaTauri going to go for a dive? No. Oh, taps him on the bum a little bit.
Hello.
And the Haas stays in front, and you can just see how little grip the Mikau has coming out of turn 1.
Yeah, it's probably the hards have probably reached their maximum grip level at the moment, and that's probably all he's got.
Apollo Pepsi does have a bit of DRS on the back of Big Al, so that might just help him stay in front of Mikau, but Mikau goes to the inside. He's used a bit of his overtake, and he goes down the inside of the Haas. The Haas has the inside line, and look at Sandesi. Sandesi's going to try and go around the outside now of the AlphaTauri. He's got the traction, he's got the ERS, as Mikau really struggles to pull up the car, nearly goes to the back of the Haas. There's a little bit of contact between the Alfa Romeo and the AlphaTauri, but they all stay in the same positions. But Apollo Pepsi has a little bit of a snap. Is Mikau going to have a run down into Pouon? And look at the gap Big Al has now. He's disappeared into the distance. Sandesi needs to clear this traffic, or he's going to be hurt long term.
I think we're going to see probably a late lunge, I think. Just a bit of desperation just to get in front.
Well, Anocat all over the back of Sandesi as well. He's going to have to get past him. He's gone for the move here down the inside, and Mikau didn't really expect it. Started to turn in. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, is Anocat going to get through? He is, but Anocat had to go very wide. He nearly lost it himself. It looked like a wheel-to-wheel contact there between Mikau and Sandesi. That put Mikau almost into a spin. It was really great control of the car, and Anocat had to take evasive action to avoid collecting the AlphaTauri. Thankfully, no one picked up any damage from what I could tell. The Sandesi through now up into P4, closing in on the back of Apollo Pepsi, who has not got DRS to Big Al anymore, who's already 2.5 seconds down the road. go, and Cat has got the DRS. He'll get the move done on Mikau. Polo Pepsi loses position to Sandeezy. Pretty easy one with DRS up ahead. Eckham closing in on Fever as well. Polo Pepsi picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
Quite a large gap between Captain of Gold and Big Al.
Yeah, 2.7 seconds. He's closing that gap nicely.
Captain of Gold still needs to pit there. So I think we're going to see Captain of Gold drop down to P8, P9 with his pit stop.
I think with the alternate strategy though, he does leave himself open to chucking on the softs once there is a safety car. And he could be in the lead of the race if that happens. And Sandeezy looks like he's got a lot of good pace at the moment. He's closing in on Big Al, and he's broken DRS of Apollo Pepsi already, so he'll have no pressure from behind. Beaver now closing in on the back of Mikau. He might go for a move here at the bus stop. See if the McLaren's going to be brave on the brakes. He decides to be patient. He'll wait a little bit longer.
A nice long train at the moment.
Absolutely.
From Ando Cat right down to Crush.
And we see Mikau go for a move on Ando Cat up into P5. Very nice little move. Going to jump back to Combine YouTuber, who's close to the back of Pondon. He's got DRS now. Williams goes defensive for the Ferrari, takes the outside line, and he's through up into P11, jumping further up, and FIBA has made the move on Andercut up into P6. And he tries to follow the Alpha Tauri through some of this traffic.
Only 9 more laps left to go.
Absolutely. It goes pretty quick, the Belgian Grand Prix. Sunolga picks up another 3-second time penalty. Oh, FIBA absolutely using every little bit of track he can to try and get past Mikau. Sandeezy's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, he is more than 3 seconds clear of Apollo Pepsi, but that's going to hurt his chances of winning this race. He's got within 2 seconds of Big Al, but he's clearly been pushing the track limits a little bit too far to do so. Eckham tries to go for a move on Andercat, but he covers the inside line, as I think that was someone coming off into the pits. It's Apollo Pepsi. He pits out of P5. As Eckham thinks back on for a move on Andercat again, but can't quite get the car positioned. Go Pepsi onto the soft tyre, so he will be the first one of those who started on the medium to pit. As we go, FIBA makes the move on Mikau up into P4. He's got 4-second gap now to Sandeezy. He's just 1.4 seconds behind Big Al, and Captain of Gold just a second in front of Big Al. So is the Alfa Romeo going to help out his teammate here? A little bit further back, and Eckham sneaks through on Andercat. Nice little move there, coming down the hill again. And Andercat's medium tyre is starting to look a little worse for wear. So here we go. The Alpine in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. And Big Al closing in on the back of Captain of Gold so quickly. I don't know if Captain of Gold's lifting off a little bit to try and back him up into his teammate. And I think he has. The gap is now less than a second. So I think this is working in Sandeezy's favour. He's closed up massively to Big Al. And here we go. Sandeezy back in this fight. He does have a 3-second penalty, but the pace is shown. He could clear Sandeezy. He could clear Big Al and pull a bit of a gap away. As we see Captain Gold peel off to the pits, his job is done. Sandeezy in the DRS now. Big Al will get it on Captain of Gold, but he'll be pretty vulnerable on the Kemmel straight. So we see Andercat coming to the pits as well off those worn medium tyres. Got a yellow flag in Sector 2. It looks like it might be Potsy having a little bit of trouble down there, but thankfully no harm done. No safety car. We get to see this battle take place. There we go, just 0.2 of a second between Sandeezy and Big Al. Is the Alpha male going to go for a move? He's got the DRS flap open. He ducks out to the right-hand side of the track, and he gets a move done pretty comfortably. And comes back to the racing line. And Big Al is going to have to settle for second for the time being. All he has to do is stay within 3 seconds, and the race win is still his. Coming back to Mick Al now, P5. Still in a DRS range of Eckham ahead. Those medium tyres are pretty fresh compared to his hard, so he will start to drop off a little bit. Crush right on the AlphaTauri's tail as well in P6. Keep an eye on Captain of Gold. He came out as he predicted, P8 on those fresh soft tyres. Watch him coming back through the field. He's only 1.2 seconds behind Trin, who's on those medium tyres from about 5 laps ago. As Potsy makes the moves on Sim Dogger. Oh, a little bit of contact from the Aston Martin there. And so Potsy will hold that position in P14. But Sim Dogger on fresh softs though. Oh, surely that's got to be some desync. Oh, either that or there's just very aggressive driving there for P14. I think Simdogger must have some bodywork damage or something, because he does not look like he's particularly quick at all compared to the Alpine. Jumping up further as Apollo Pepsi and Batemate side by side. Pepsi gets the position, P11, as he's also charged it through the field on those fresh soft tyres. Go up to Crush, who's all over the back of Mika now. Still on those hard tyres. We're expecting him to come in on lap 21. Unless there is some safety car that comes out onto the track before then. It's just a sitting duck at the moment. AlphaTauri's strategy way out there today. It has helped him so far. As Crush gets the move done up into P5. A little bit further back, Captain of Gold gets the move done on Trin. Those fresh soft tyres are really helping him out. And meantime at the front, Sandeezy still has a 5/10, 6/10 lead. As Simdogger and Potsy still battling it out for P14. They're up ahead, Pondon. Trying to stick with the Ferrari now. Half a second in it, so he's within DRS, but doesn't quite have the straight line speed as Potsy picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. See, can't quite stick with him as we've lost Potsy again. He's had a bit of a spin at Puon. Keeps it out of the wall, so he'll be able to continue on. And Simdogger now pulling away. 10-second lead over
P14. See any safety cars, have we?
Not yet. Got 5 laps to go. We know the game doesn't let them come out when you're within the final 2 laps. Just going to jump back as Anokat gets a move done on Batemate. Those fresh soft tyres helping him there as well. Big out. Just managing the gap at the moment. I think he's going to be waiting for the last lap to go for a move down the Kemmel Straight, so he'll just be biding his time for the time being. Rush as well. Staying within DRS of Eckham. Go Pondon. Going for a move on the Ferrari down the inside at the end of the Kemmel Straight. The Ferrari very low on ERS, leaves the space on the inside. It's going to be the outside now for Pondon, which again becomes the inside, and he goes through up into P9. And Apollo Pepsi as well in the fresh soft tyres. He's all over the back of the Ferrari as well. So he's going to have the grip to go for a move here into No Name. I don't think so. He might just have to wait, maybe Puon, but not a lot of opportunities after that for the rest of the lap. He's not using any of his energy. Combined goes very defensive. Trying to cover that inside through Puon, but look how much slower he is than the Haas. Is Pepsi going to size him up for a move through Sector 2? No, it looks like he's going to be patient. He'll wait for one of the straights. Problem for Pepsi though is that Combine's going to be getting DRS off Pondon, so he needs to try and get a move through here where he has the superior pace on the fresher tyre. Go, gaps down to under 310s, but Combine also closing in on the back of Pondon, who goes very defensive. The Ferrari's going to try and go around the outside. Oh, a bit of contact between Pepsi and Combine. Hopefully that hasn't damaged his front wing. Pepsi losing a lot of time here, stuck behind this battle for P9.
Yeah, either way, that tap probably wouldn't have done him any good.
Oh, he's hit him again, going to turn 1. Just letting the Ferrari know he's there, giving him the hurry up. Pondon parks the car in the middle of the road, heading to Eau Rouge. They go up through Radion. Look how much... Oh, Combine's right out of the throttle. Going through Radion, and Pepsi had to get out of the throttle as well. But here we go. The Haas going for a move. And, oh, there's 3 wide going down the Camel Straight. And he's got the move done. Great move there by Polo Pepsi. Come on, YouTuber up into P10, but Pondon down to P11. And Andocat's in this fight as well now. Oh, look at that big moment there from Pondon. He's actually lost the position to Andocat there. Had a big tank slapper up on the exit curb. And nearly lost the car. Did really well to control that one. Just keep an eye on this battle for the lead. Pick out now within 410s of Sandesi. I think he might be going for his move in a moment. He's saving a lot of ERS. Is Big Al 82% he's got at the moment. I'm not seeing the flashing light on Sandesi, so Sandesi has been using a lot. But it was a bit of a oversteer there from Big Al through the bus stop. That is a lot closer this time around than he has been in the past. And I think we might see him go for a move down the Camel Straight. Go, he's got DRS open. He's actually pulling out of the slipstream. He doesn't want to overtake. And Sandesi, oh, so close. I think Big Al's just managing this race. He's waiting until the last minute. Just see Backmate come into the pits to get off those medium tyres. Crush. Close to the back of Eckham there for P5. Further back, and Endocat getting a move on Combine YouTube. He's dropped out of the points now. I think the strategy for Mika there, doing the pitting on the 21st lap, might find himself outside of the points once he's stopped.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. I think the only saving grace they had was probably safety car. Yet again, something may happen this lap, we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. As Potsy gets a move done on Artanis up to P15.
Probably pit sooner rather than later because I'd rather be on a fresh set of tyres for a few laps to at least have half a chance to come back.
Yeah, although if there is a safety car, then it kind of ruins his race even further. As Artanis gets a move done on Potsy again, and up to 15th, they'll be battling for the final 2 places for the rest of the lap, I'd imagine.
I reckon AFR aren't going to pit at all.
Well, Psycho has been disqualified before for not using the mandatory tyres, although it was a bug in the game.
Yep, that's irritating when that happens.
There we go. Big Al goes to the move for the lead of the race. And Sandesi lets him go through, doesn't fight it too hard. I think that's a little bit of gamesmanship there from Sandesi. He's probably letting him through so he can use DRS just to recharge his battery a little bit to go for a move on the final lap. Feber's now just 1.6 seconds behind Sandesi, so he's been able to close up that gap. Jumping down to Andocat, making the move on Apollo Pepsi. Pretty simple one there on the Camel Straight. Up into P9.
Yeah, pretty much who's in front at the end of that back straight is going to be pretty much the one that's going to win the race. So
absolutely.
It's definitely like a game of chess now.
Having a look at Potsy and Artanis again, going into the bus stop side by side. Nice little battle between these two. entertaining themselves. Oh, he's run a little bit deeper, Spotsy, and that's going to help Artanis down the pit straight. A little bit of contact between the two of them. And I think Potsy there just letting him go through to get the DRS.
I think they had a look at the budget and see what they could afford. Ooh, Sandeezy's very close to the back of Big Al.
Just watching Potsy remove wheels on the grass, goes past Artanis. And gets moved out, goes very deep though. Artanis is going to come back at him. And Artanis stays P15. Let's have a look at this lead battle again. FIBA within DRS range, so this is a three-way battle for the lead of the race, but Big Al doesn't have any time penalties, so should be his victory no matter what happens here, as long as he can just keep it on the black stuff.
I think FIBA might win out of this by the looks of it.
Well, Sandeezy's lifting on the straight to make sure he stays behind Big Al, and that's allowing FIBA to close in on the back of it because he's got DRS as well now. Jump further back is Captain of Gold goes through on Mick who surely will be pitting at the end of this lap as Backmate sets the fastest lap of the race with the 143.257. Rush looking to try and get past the Aston Martin as well, currently in P5. Coming back to this battle for P15. Potsy holds P15. Artanis all over the back of him though. Go from him to T1. He's switching the DRS on and off to make sure that he stays in front. And Potsy runs very deep. Look at him! Look, they got so slow trying to get the DRS detection point. And I'm not sure which one of them got it. Some dodgy racing at the back between these two. Oh, it's, Artanis has gone straight on. Oh, it's a bit risky there between the two. There's some sketchy driving between these two. As Potsy's onto the grass, doing a little bit of lawn mowing down the Camel Straight, but done some interesting stuff. And here comes Mick into the pits, finally off those hard tyres. Unfortunately, the strategy is not played out, and
down and just
Psycho, we pit not because we want to, we pit because we must. And I think he's pitting out of the points as well, unfortunately, is Mikau. Let's have a look at this battle for the lead. It looks like Sandeezy's not quite close enough to get the move on Big Al. FIBA, no, barely within DRS range of the lead two cars. I have a suspicion this might be how it finishes, but let's look at Crush and Ekem and Captain of Gold as well. Three-way battle going into the corner. And Crush is on top, but look at Captain of Gold and Ekem. Oh, wheel to wheel. Ekem's still in front, pushes the Alfa Romeo up onto the curb. The Mastermind's got the inside lines laid on the brakes. He goes straight to a little lock-up from Captain of Gold. They stay. Crush, Ekem, Captain of Gold. Great defending by the Aston Martin.
Oh, I got a yellow. That's alright.
I think that's Simdogger and Baitmate fighting for the DRS, heading up into... Yeah, illegal blocking. Simdog has just been penalised by the game for that. Tried the same tactic as Artanis and Potsy, didn't quite work out that time. But, oh, looks like it might be settled here. This is a lot of positions changing further back. Backmates through on Simdogger. Artanis and Potsy doing the same trick again at the hairpoint at the source. Oh, they do it again. That Simdogger is out now. Unfortunately, crashed out the end of the Camel Straight. Might have done that on his own, but Big Al will come across the line and he'll take the checkered flag for the last time this season. Sandeezy comes P2 and FIBA P3. Now Crush and Ekem and Captain of Gold still battling it out. Look at the Aston Martin's been forced right up onto the curb and Captain of Gold will take P5, Crush P4, and Ekem has to settle for P6. Great little battle from those guys. Having a look a bit further back, Trin will be next across the line, followed by Andercat. Couldn't quite get the move done by the end of the race. Apollo Pepsi P9, well done, but I think Combined YouTuber will jump in because he does get within that 3 second of the time penalty. Pondit ends up 11th, so a great try from him. Mikau, unfortunately, P12 with the, unfortunately, strategy not working out there.
Unfortunately for the AFR boys, yet again, bit of bad luck. But they got next season to look forward to.
Absolutely. Batemate will be next across the line. But we actually got a battle still between 14th and 15th between Potsy, and they've actually come together. And Tannis has gone off spinning. Potsy off the throttle. Going to wait for him to rejoin the track. Batemate has a spin across the line for P13, but this battle's still going on for P14. Between the two BDE drivers, Tannis just in front of Potsy. I think we're going to see some pretty dirty driving between these two as they come across the line for the final time this season. Using up all of his ERS. What's using a bit of a toe on the Williams. Oh, he does a dummy. There's a little bit of contact coming into the bus stop. Bank wheels a couple of times. They're side by side into the chicane. And it looks like Tannis has said nope. He's absolutely parked the bus in the bus stop. And Potsy comes off line for 14th, and Tannis limps across the line in 15th, and that is it for Tier 1 Season 8 at Aussie Formula Racing. We are done on F1 2021.
Well, thanks for that, Gus, and thank you everyone for watching.
Absolutely, thank you very much for the co-commentary there, Mr. Spicer. Probably Pepsi picking up driver of the day. Very well deserved. He started towards the back and pretty decent job. I don't think he quite ended up in the points, but valiant effort nonetheless. Thank you everyone for tuning in once again as we see the podium celebrations. We will be having a Tier 2 race in about 15 minutes. So it'll be the final AFR race on the current game. So please stick around for that. And then after the Tier 2 race, we will be revealing the calendar for next season in the AFR Discord. So make sure you keep an eye on that. But congratulations to Big Al picking up the race win. Sandesi and Feber doing well to get on the podium after that. Then got crushed, Captain of Gold, Ekim, Trin, Andacat, combined YouTuber, and Apollo Pepsi rounding out the points. He did sneak in there with Haas for a solitary point. Then got Pond and Mikau, Batemate, Potsy, Tannis, and Simdogger rounding out our grid. I don't think we actually had any retirements. No, everyone was classified. I think someone did crash out, but everyone made the race distance to get the race completion. So, thank you all for tuning in. We're going to take a short break. We'll have Sandesi back hosting Tier 2 in just a moment. And I believe I think there's still a battle for the constructors in a Tier 2 race later on, so please stick around for that. Thank you very much, Mr. Spicer. Good luck for your race shortly.
Thank you very much, sir. And thanks again, Gus, and we'll see you next season.
Absolutely. See you all next season, and we'll be back soon.